Times roving cameraman is in the nation's capital. Spotted on his way to work is Scoville Richardson, chairman of the Federal Parole Board and first Negro ever appointed to the board. Mr. Richardson and Howard Jenkins and Miss Roberta Church, who hold important Labor Department positions, were all appointed under the Eisenhower administration. One of the largest groups to be recruited under the new 6-month reserve program by an organized reserve training unit, 36 Marine reservists are of the 1st Engineer Battalion from Baltimore, report for 6 months training at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina. Wishing them well, along with their families, is General James Devereaux of Wake Island fame, Republican congressional representative from Maryland. Brigadier General Tom Enos, Director of Reserve Activities for the Marine Corps, and Walter Veneman, Secretary to the Mayor of Baltimore. When their recruit training is finished, these Marines will finish the balance of their obligated service with the 1st Engineer Battalion in Baltimore. It's pro football time at Baltimore's Memorial Stadium. The invading favorite Chicago Bears kick into the end zone, and the Baltimore Colts take over 1st and 10 on their own 20. Ex-Penn State Negro star Lenny Moore reels off 9 yards. Fleet halfback was Colts' first draft choice. Bears take over in fancy running by Negro star Bobby Watkins, who gained fame at Ohio State, moves ball into touchdown territory as Bears draw first blood and get off to an early 7-0 lead. Memorial Stadium is packed to the rafters, and 45,000 cheering fans see the Colts upset the Dopesters with a 28-21 win. To the backdrop of rippling water and a resort hotel, the Washington chapter of the Continentals are hosts in Colton, Maryland, at the last outing of the season. The refreshing water of the hotel pool is a haven for the guests and members from other chapters, all on the eastern seacoast, who are on hand for the festivities. One of the highlights of the weekend was party given at the smart country home of the Charles Jacksons. Mrs. Jackson is a Washington Continental. Well, these lovely Corins know who they're for. They're for Ike, Pat, Mary, and Alice. These lovely fashion models, Dorothea Tolles, Mary Cunningham, and Frances Wallace, look quite smart promenading down New York's Fifth Avenue, displaying "Let's Back Ike" buttons. Look out, girls. This fellow is an old Ike admirer.
Highline is very happy to be in the offices of the United States Mission to the United Nations. And we have sitting here with us this morning a very lovely young lady, Mrs. Carmel Marr. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Alexander. It's very nice to have you visit us.
Well, you know, we want to talk about some of the work that you do with the United States Mission.
Well, my official title is Advisor on Political and Legal Affairs. And if you weren't here this morning, I would be reading some of the papers that are on the desk because a good deal of my work involves research. Perhaps the most interesting part of it is the liaison that I do with other delegations. We are the host country here in the United States, and as host country, we have certain responsibilities to assume. I work on those. And in pursuance of that, I frequently come into contact with the members of the other 75 delegations to the United Nations. It's very interesting. In addition, there isn't any question, I suppose, that comes up in the United Nations that doesn't have some legal aspect to it.
Well, this is a very interesting opportunity for us because I know President Eisenhower and his appointees have certainly gathered a lot of talent here in the name of Mrs. Carmel Marr. Thank you very much for letting us visit you.
And now, we leave the UN where minds work to maintain a peace championed by President Eisenhower.